Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
General Grievous.
General Kenobi.
It started.
Yeah.
Howdy, folks. I'm Noah.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Curtis.
Welcome back. This time we are no longer in trekking into darkness. We are on the Star Wars trek.
Yes. Excellent. Good reference. Good, solid
I'm
reference.
not sure if that was worth the joke or not. It's a solid joke, but like trekking into darkness really just applied to the Star Trek Picard discussion.
Yeah. But now we're on the Star Wars trek.
Right.
The vast migration of Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. More specifically, we're going over Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 7.
Season 7. Are we doing the whole season?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Curtis said sure. I didn't watch 3 of the episodes, so
That's okay.
we'll see how this
We'll
goes.
skip those
We'll
episodes.
skip
Yeah.
those episodes.
Yeah.
The boring ones in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking there.
Well,
It could have been wrapped in one episode.
they could have used those episodes to, I don't know, fill out the Mandalorian arc more, which I think deserved it based on the quality material that we saw in those episodes. That's all it gives me. How do I work with
agree.
these people?
I mean, I do agree. It's too bad.
It's too bad, he says. Wow. This is quality commentary.
Yes. Hopping into it.
He's hopping in. Oh, Lord.
So,
Where are we starting?
Just some general background for the Clone Wars. So it was originally created by George Lucas, and it was primarily developed and primarily directed by Dave Filoni, the cowboy. And it began... what's funny is, like, I don't think any of Curtis and I didn't watch the original movie.
I watched
But
the movie.
you did.
I've also seen the 2003 Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2D animated.
Yeah.
Which has no affiliation with the show.
Right.
So-
That's technically not canon because
Yeah.
the new Clone Wars is canon and they contradict
Yes.
or something. I don't remember.
But yeah, the
Curtis,
original...
hold on. Did you know that in the 2003 Clone Wars, Shaggy is a Jedi?
Yes, I did hear about this.
There's a Jedi that looks exactly like Shaggy.
Yep.
That's weird.
It's amazing. I'm sorry. Go on, Ryan.
Jedi Shaggy.
Jedi Shaggy.
So the film, it was released on August 15, 2008, and then it was followed up by the series on Cartoon Network on October 3rd, 2008, and then it ran on Cartoon Network until March 2nd, 2013. It was 5 seasons. Each season was 22 episodes, except for the 5th one. It was only 20 episodes. So, I'm not sure why. Well, they were kind of in the fear of, like, the show was getting canceled, so they were trying to just put in as much as they could.
Or wrap it up.
Yeah. The 6th season came out on Netflix.
Yes, that was March 7th, 2014. So that was only 13 episodes. And in fact, they called it the Lost episodes because they were all just concept ideas. And then we were finally given a 7th season just this past February. Which is only 12 episodes.
Right.
So
Most of which were done years ago.
the first 4.
Absolutely. But I think the last 4 were also, like, they've been altered, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that arc was fairly defined already.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the season they had at least come up with ideas because I remembered there was unfinished animation for the first 4 episodes. I remember that because they showed that stuff at the 2015 Star Wars Celebration at Anaheim. So they showed the Bad Batch, and they might have also showed some footage of Ahsoka after she had left the Jedi Order.
They showed her hologramming Anakin and Obi-Wan, which was the stinger at the end of Bad Batch, right?
Something. Not sure. But they did show another arc where Ahsoka had apparently gone up against, or maybe it was her going up against Boba Fett. Yeah, after she was...
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
Where?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. There's some concept animation of it where it's either her or that other bounty hunter that was like Dave Filoni's brainchild, the one that looks like a cowboy, that wears a cowboy hat.
Oh, what's his name?
No.
I know what he's talking about. The blue guy, he's got tubes and a hat.
It's either Ahsoka or this dude who's going up against young Boba Fett, and it was supposed to be like partially a tie-in, a little bit to Star Wars 1313 because it was...
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace that game. Because it was all taking place in the underground of Coruscant.
The underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
But they did episodes like that.
Yeah.
With Obi-Wan when they faked his death or whatever.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool couple of episodes. I remember those.
I barely remember any of it.
There was also the final few episodes of season 5 when Ahsoka was on trial and Anakin went to the underground of Coruscant to find Asajj Ventress, and he did some exploring. So it's kind of cool.
I just remember George Lucas renamed Korriban because he didn't like the name to Morrowind. Good change, George.
He was the Star Wars god. He said,
Yeah, he can do what he wants.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, they still consulted with him.
It's true.
Checked out the Mandalorian behind the scenes.
I know.
Yep.
Guess where he wasn't on set? During episode 7, 8, 9.
Started rewatching that this morning.
Ah.
It's entertaining so far.
How much did you watch?
I got maybe 40 minutes in.
4-0. Okay. So what? They've been captured and are trying to
just found
get Chewie?
the ancient.
Oh, the MacGuffin.
Yeah, they were just sinking through the quicksand.
MacGuffin 1, to be specific. Because MacGuffin 1 leads you to MacGuffin 2, which takes you to Planet MacGuffin.
Knife.
It's a great plot. Good job, JJ.
Anyway,
Was it as much JJ or was it a bunch of interference from Kathleen Kennedy?
She wanted episode 8 the way it was.
Yeah. But did she want the original concept for episode 9?
I doubt it,
Yeah.
considering that movie didn't get made.
Yeah. So, was it really JJ or Kathleen Kennedy?
Fuck if I know. I
Yeah.
don't know internal politics at Disney.
Yeah. Well, moving forward. So season 7.
is that a good load of this?
You got it.
I'll put that in there.
Was the what was that? The hair suck thing? The
The suck cut.
suck.
It sucks while it cuts. It certainly does suck.
So the first 4 episodes were about the Bad Batch. They just kind of fleshed out that story. We were shown this animation originally back in 2015. So the Bad Batch, it's a group of clones that are sent on extremely dangerous missions, and each member has a specific genetic mutation that gives them advantages at handling dire situations, I guess. Or they just makes them more special. So
Fancy.
yeah.
They never show up in any other Mandalorian episodes. Do
I
they?
don't think so.
I was trying to remember which clone trooper was hanging out with Rex.
Oh,
The captain of the Wolf Battalion and then one other dude that I don't remember.
Wolf and Gregor? Maybe?
Was that Gregor?
I
In
don't
which
know.
case, that was the commando from that other Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was just wondering if a Bad Batch guy happened to be one of those.
No.
I don't think so. No. But it was kind of cool that in those episodes of Rebels, it showed them how their minds were getting more deteriorated as they,
Well, Wolf's
due to the
was.
accelerated aging.
Yes.
Was their aging still accelerated at that point?
I don't know.
Say-
Was it?
Curtis?
I don't know.
Noah has a theory.
I don't, actually. I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch Rebels at some point.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Noah would prefer just a little more actual death on screen.
Yeah.
The last episode had a guy's of Clone Wars had a guy's arm get chopped
Oh, I
off.
know, I
Would
saw
that get
that.
show in Rebels?
Probably not. No.
Exactly.
I know.
Rebels was a little kid friendly. They were, they wanted to make it available for all audiences.
Disney XD. That's what it was coming
That's
out on.
right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
No wonder that show sucks.
I don't know. I thought it was good.
Curtis, look me in the eye and tell me you like Ezra Bridgers.
He's fine.
He did not tell me he liked him. Point and match.
He's okay.
He's a little cringy, you know.
But we were given Kanan, who I thought was great. Samurai Jedi. Like true samurai Jedi.
They had the stupid thin lightsabers. And they had the lightsaber helicopter. Don't tell me that was cool.
I didn't mind it actually.
Oh my god. Who am I
I
sitting
definitely
next to?
was like, okay, that's kind of out of
It
nowhere,
looks
but
stupid.
I don't know.
It looks so dumb.
I did like Ezra's original lightsaber. That was a blaster.
The blaster saber?
Yeah, it was kind of
Oh,
cool.
Lord.
It was, in a time when there definitely weren't as many rules about what lightsabers should be.
Just carry a blaster with you, like, I don't know, Luke Skywalker?
Ray Skywalker.
Ah.
What are you talking about?
Ho, 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 ho. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
So going over like the first 4 episodes, so it's mainly about how the Bad Batch was helping the 501st. Specifically, like in the first episode, we start off with the Anakin Skywalker and Mace Windu as they led a campaign on Anaxus to defend the main Republic shipyard from Admiral Trench. Great name. They find the Separatists' droid army had always been one step ahead of them in every engagement, so for Commander Cody, Captain Rex, and the Bad Batch, an unorthodox group of clone commandos with desirable mutations go behind enemy lines to discover the source of the Separatists' series of victories. Inside the Separatist command center, Rex hears a mysterious signal feeding battle strategies to the droid army, leading him to believe that the lost clone trooper Echo may still be alive.
That guy that died in season 1.
Yep.
We pulled him back in season 7.
Did he died in season 1?
Wasn't that season 1?
I don't remember.
I haven't watched season 1 in probably 3 or 4 years.
Me neither. And I only watched it once.
Me too.
I don't remember.
You win this round.
Okay. Interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Decent episode.
I'd say like the first 4 episodes, they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with them.
We're kind of given later on in some other episodes, I think it's like the 3rd or 4th one. I'm not sure. We're given kind of or maybe it was the first one. We're given sort of a bit of a timeline as to when this was all taking place right before Revenge of the Sith, because
Right.
Anakin does a video call with Padme, and I don't know about you guys, but you could obviously tell that she was, slightly pregnant. But Anakin, for some reason, didn't seem to see that.
Oh, I thought the giveaway was the end of or episode 4. He's talking to Ahsoka, and then the beginning of episode 9, she shows up, and then they go off and do Revenge of the Sith things.
Mm-hmm.
That happens too.
You know, just a couple of on-the-nose context clues compared to Padme was a little rounder.
Well,
What do I know?
that does, that's also very true later on. So those first 4 episodes, it was essentially let's rescue Echo, and then let's destroy what was it, the relay center or
Whatever.
they had to
Yeah. It's also character building for Rex.
Mm-hmm. And then
Sure.
by the end of this whole arc, Echo decides that he no longer wants to be a part of the 501st, that he's instead going to join the Bad Batch because he's more cybernetic than he is.
It's got a robot arm.
Yeah.
And
robot legs.
it looked like the end of a jackhammer
Yeah.
attached to his arm.
Yeah.
Goes up to the droid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more or less the first 4 episodes. It's just
Stuff happens.
they go fight a bunch of battle droids.
And
It's
Anakin
true.
kills the tarantula dude.
Admiral Trench.
He
Yeah.
gets like really angry.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that. Subtle foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never saw it coming.
Well.
Yeah. I did always wonder what happened to Admiral Tarantula. So
Now
this is
you
good.
know.
Now I know. It's
Wow.
good. Wow.
This season was really worth it. It
Yeah.
answered Curtis's unanswered questions. What happened to the Admiral Tarantula?
Yeah.
Now we know.
Perfect.
Now we know. All right, we're going to skip the middle 4 episodes because they're terrible.
Well, I wrote like a brief. Yeah, I can just say this. So the second arc, it just follows Ahsoka Tano as she pretty much just stumbles at finding a normal life after leaving the Jedi Order. And by stumble, I mean like she literally falls out of the sky and happens to land
Into an adventure.
into an adventure.
Wow. What convenient plot.
Mm-hmm. And shenanigans occur.
Yeah, it might make sense if the sisters, whatever their names were, like showed up at the end of episode 12 to like help her out, get her out of that situation, and
Right.
be like, oh, so she's going off with them and she can hide and do stuff. But
But no.
it's just a waste of 4 episodes and my time. But I didn't because I didn't watch them.
Yeah, they did end up repeating a lot of the dialogue from episode to episode. It was always,
Yeah.
why do you trust her? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. They
It's filler.
Yeah, it was as
yeah.
much filler as anything.
It really was that. It was just filler, but there were a few things. So they put some concept ideas, from Star Wars 1313, because she does crash
right.
land kind of in there in the
Yeah.
underground. So we got to see some of that stuff, which I was like, that's kind of cool.
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 But after that, it's not the most well done
No.
arc.
Oh, well. Moving on. Episode
Movie.
9.
Yeah.
Episode 9,
Ah.
where everything gets better.
Even the Lucasfilm logo gets better.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
returned it to Lucasfilm Limited.
I should
Straight up.
I should have looked up why they did that.
Nostalgia.
I see.
Because they knew that all of us 20, 30, and 40-somethings were sitting there watching it and remembered A New Hope
Right,
with
right.
Lucasfilm Limited.
Gotcha. I see.
It's to play on your feelings, Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a calculated marketing decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the words for the title are all red. Evil.
Very. They also did some great music in
Yeah.
these last 4 episodes.
Mhm.
So to begin at episode 9, Old Friends Not Forgotten. So it's followed up after Ahsoka's whatever arc. Bo-Katan, the Mandalorian, had found her on
Yeah.
that other random planet that...
I'll take your word for it. I didn't watch it.
It was just like, they just somehow showed up there
Oh, yeah.
and they were just watching her the whole time, and then they told her, we need you to come and help us with Mandalore. And it's like, okay.
And she was going to go get help from the only people that she knew would give her a bunch of soldiers, Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, pretty much. So Ahsoka and Bo-Katan contact Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, asking them for help in apprehending Darth Maul in his new hideout on Mandalore. While Obi-Wan is apprehensive, Anakin and the 501st give Ahsoka a warm welcome until news arrives that General Grievous and the Separatists are attacking Coruscant. Upon Anakin's suggestion, Rex, field promoted to commander, and part of the 501st accompanies Ahsoka to Mandalore, forcing Maul's loyalists under Gar Saxon into retreat. Bo-Katan apprehends Prime Minister Almec, while Ahsoka follows a trail into the city's tunnel network, only to walk right into Maul's trap. Yeah,
It's a trap.
that is a trap.
He was expecting Kenobi. Yes. But it wasn't.
I was expecting Kenobi.
Sam Witwer,
I know.
who also plays Crashdown in the hit series Battlestar Galactica.
Of course he does.
You'll see him.
He also plays a vampire in Being Human,
Interesting.
and he played
Galen Starkiller.
Starkiller and Emperor Palpatine.
Galen Merrick.
Star Killer.
in
Oh, right. Yeah,
Star
there's
Wars
some
Force
cool
Unleashed.
videos of him doing the voices.
Yeah. It's the same guy.
Yeah. Apparently, he really loves playing the Emperor. It's one of my favorite characters. So, I don't know. It's a great opening arc. There's the whole scene where we see the 501st, arriving at Mandalore and jumping
Besieging
out
the
of
city.
ships and
Yeah.
whatever.
It's fun.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. We got to see Mandalorians and clone troopers fighting together.
Which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Except that they said Jango Fett wasn't a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, though. The theory was that he had just killed the Mandalorian and stolen his armor.
It doesn't make sense.
Mm.
That scene is cooler if you do just believe that Jango Fett was a Mandalorian, in which case, the second Mandalorian army is coming to help the Mandalorians in a civil war.
Mm.
It's cool.
Cool.
We're also given a really kind of nice, touching goodbye between Ahsoka and Anakin, and then they won't see each other for another 15-ish years.
Rebels.
Yeah.
The greatest... Oh, wait.
You can't even say it.
There's some great moments.
Yeah. That moment was pretty good when
Yeah,
it was
with the
Anakin and Ahsoka.
Was that a Sith holocron?
It was
There was a Sith temple that housed a holocron,
yeah, and it
and it was also a weapon
Yeah.
or something.
something
But then Ezra from the future saved Ahsoka, and that's just stupid.
timey-wimey nonsense.
Yeah, timey-wimey. They can do it in Star Wars. Why not?
Yes.
Why? Don't need to.
Ezra was one with the Force.
Oh, and wait. They wrote
And the
themselves
Force is with
into a
me.
corner. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to save Ahsoka. Or did they have to? Is
I
there any
mean-
reason that they had to?
They wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah,
so they
just
could
wanted
continue to
keep
use the character.
In the Mandalorian Season 2.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. She should have died at the end of this episode. Season, sorry.
Yeah.
What an impact that would have been.
That and then there would have been paradoxes.
Yeah.
Wait,
How
Rebels
they-
already
they-
came out.
Well-
They made Rebels, and they wrote a
Don't
whole
make Rebels
book.
before you release season 7 of the Clone Wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's a decent episode. Then the next one, The Phantom Apprentice, which is a great nod to The Phantom Menace.
Ah,
And what's also great is they got Ray Park to
mocap that fight.
Yeah, which
I
is
did- yeah.
100% the best lightsaber fight in all of the Clone Wars.
it was
Because it
pretty
actually
cool.
feels like people are fighting
That's true.
instead of just animated characters flying around.
Yeah, there's the bit where he's like kicking one leg in the air while he's striking. I was like, they've never done an animation like that before. That's like
There's a grounded weight to that fight, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just it made it so great to watch for me.
It
It's
also
fun.
seemed like I don't know if they just, when they exported the video files, they like put it on the highest quality filter. They just looked better than
Yeah.
most of the rest of Clone Wars ever looked.
apparently in the little behind the scenes footage, Ray Park was whipping that lightsaber around so fast that the computer couldn't pick it up.
Yes.
He was spinning it so fast. So I thought that was like, they told him, tone it down a little. We have to get footage. But he was so into it.
Yeah.
Plus they got Sam Witwer and him to do all of that. So it's really great.
Culmination.
The main synopsis was Ahsoka faces off against Maul, who mentions Darth Sidious before escaping. Ahsoka relays this to Obi-Wan.
Right, that whole beginning of the episode.
Yep. Who says he had inferred from the recently deceased Count Dooku that Sidious is the name of the Sith Lord who orchestrated the Clone Wars. After Almec is assassinated by Saxon, Bo-Katan helps Rex's team fight him and his Mandalorians. Ahsoka confronts Maul again, and he reveals that he engineered this conflict to lure Anakin there to kill him because Sidious intends to make him his pupil. Ahsoka and Maul duel above the city, and Ahsoka saves Maul from falling to his death. He is then captured by the clone troopers despite his frantic warnings that everyone will soon die.
Well, not everyone. The clones seem to live just fine.
Well, most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that Maul's all, like, I don't know. It's like almost not a bad guy.
He's very gray.
Yes.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
So
He's
interesting.
he's a great gray character.
Gray Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Concept that never gets explored
Yeah.
in proper canon.
Oh, there was also the mention where Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka that, oh yeah, Anakin killed Count Dooku before we could get any information out of him. So
What a great drop
Yeah.
of info. It's just like, yeah, we can't interrogate him anymore. Why not? Anakin killed him. Lopped off his head and his hands. Revenge, that
yeah.
thing.
yeah, that whole thing.
I had a punchline in there somewhere.
Mm.
Don't know if the camera caught it.
There was
The
also
editor will know.
There was also how he couldn't, or Ahsoka wasn't able to talk to Anakin because he was on special assignment,
Right.
to follow the Emperor. But this is all stuff that
The
we
Chancellor.
know. Yeah, Chancellor,
Emperor.
not Emperor yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting
yeah.
close.
He still has to reorganize the Republic into the First Galactic Empire.
Which just meant he had to. Yeah.
This is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
Great line.
I understand where he's going with that line. I do. It's not as poetic as he thought it was.
So, episode 11, Shattered. With the siege of Mandalore over, Ahsoka and Rex prepare to take Maul before the Jedi Council on Coruscant. Mace Windu and Yoda contact Ahsoka via hologram and reveal that Obi-Wan has tracked Grievous down to Utapau. Utapau, I don't know. Including
Planet.
that the war may soon be over. On their way to Coruscant, however, Ahsoka senses Anakin's fall to the dark side moments before Darth Sidious issues Order 66, branding all Jedi as traitors to the Republic and causing Ahsoka's clone troopers, including Rex, to turn on her. She escapes, manages to subdue Rex, and frees Maul to distract the other clones. With the help of 3 astromech droids, Ahsoka then discovers and removes the chip from Rex's brain, restoring his free will.
Yay.
Mm.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm. It's a good episode.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
I'm trying, like, it's just one big blob for me, so I'm trying to pull out which sections were in episode 11. Like, you just said it, but
Yeah.
brain's working behind.
Brain pan go squish.
Brain pan go squish.
Well, the part where when Ahsoka is talking to the Jedi Council, that's like
Straight up, they
it's
ripped
straight up
with the exception of Mace Windu, and I think is Frank Oz still doing Yoda's voice in this?
No, it's another person.
All right,
who's
then they
doing
had him
Yoda.
also, but Kiadi Mundi's line is straight up the audio ripped from
It is
Revenge of the Sith.
because it's the same conversation. They just
Yeah.
add in the part where Ahsoka comes in, so it's like moments after Anakin left to go talk to the Chancellor, and then they talk to her.
I sense a plot to
Destroyed the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
The dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor.
quality dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you, George. You told me what is happening. I never would have suspected through your visual medium.
Oh, man.
Georgia the jungle, watch out for that tree.
Ba-dum-dum-dum.
You set me up for it, Curtis.
The Order 66 scene. It's actually I really enjoyed that. It was they put in some other dialogue from Revenge of the Sith where you hear Anakin yelling, "What have I done?" And
All right.
don't listen to him, Anakin. Ah!
He's holding back all that power.
Yeah. Unlimited power.
Classic.
Yeah. So there's all of that, and then just getting to see Ahsoka have to. Well, she starts off killing some of the clones, but then later on in the next episode, she's like, "I don't want to kill the clones.
Right.
I don't want to be the one who kills them." It's like Obi-Wan and Yoda didn't seem to have a problem with that.
Ryan has been frequenting the internet.
Yeah.
He has seen the many comparisons.
Yeah.
You can't just kill these clones. They're real people with free will. Haha, lightsaber cut off head.
Yeah. They didn't seem to mind all that much.
The crash kills them all anyways. I don't think she didn't save anyone.
No.
Good effort.
You get a purple star.
And then we also get going back to like kind of the feelings between Ahsoka and Maul in Rebels, because Ahsoka does free Maul in order to make her escape. Well, certainly they set it up in Rebels that she certainly doesn't trust him, but they were willing to work together if they had a common goal, which I thought that's kind of interesting.
A through line. Good job, Filoni.
He's probably wearing his hat when he wrote that.
Yes. Wearing his cowboy hat.
Oh my god.
He's a cowboy. Truly
Okay.
is. So then we are finally reach episode 12, Victory and Death. And the opening of this episode, the music is great because they take
The Qui-Gon death music.
Yeah.
And they like reorchestrated it, and it sounds wonky but really cool.
so it sounds so sad, so very, very sad.
We're not there yet.
Thank you.
Hey. Don't even need to say it.
Nope, you don't. Let's keep moving.
So as Ahsoka and Rex try to escape from the cruiser, Maul destroys its hyperdrive, causing the vessel to drop out of hyperspace and into a moon's gravitational field. Forced to fight their way through the clones, Ahsoka tries to prevent Maul from getting away in their shuttle, but she fails, and Maul vanishes. Just barely clearing the doomed ship, Ahsoka and Rex escape to the moon, where they respectfully bury the clones, and Ahsoka discards one of her lightsabers. Sometime later, Darth Vader arrives on the moon and recovers Ahsoka's lightsaber from the wrecked cruiser.
Does he give that lightsaber back to her in Rebels or anything? Or
No.
do you just okay.
Just has it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Don't make Rebels before you finish the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Well, what's also kind of funny is in the Ahsoka novel, it's said that Ahsoka discarded both of her lightsabers, not just the one.
Oh my
I know, craziness.
Who cares?
But I was wondering the same thing. What happened to her other lightsaber? But who knows? Maybe she just dropped it somewhere else.
She did get tossed around quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they kept like dropping up and down and falling out of places throughout
Yep.
this entire episode. Thanks to the droids.
I don't know, there was a giant hangar bay, but only one ship in it.
Yep. Well, there were two. There's one down below.
That was the maintenance bay. The maintenance bay had ships, just only one of them worked.
Which was an older version of a Y-wing,
Well,
I think.
it's a Y-wing.
Yeah.
It's only old if you're looking at it from the perspective of the original trilogy.
From a certain point of view.
Point of view. If you look at things from a certain point of view, Ahsoka's trust of Anakin is what caused the destruction of the Jedi Order and the rise of the Empire.
Yeah.
Talking about points of view. Because if she hadn't trusted Anakin, she would have joined Maul to take out Sidious.
Well, you could say that about all the Jedi. They all trusted Anakin.
And they were fools.
They were
Fools.
fools. Fools.
It's a very touching ending to the series, I think. Well, maybe not touching. It's just
It's an ending.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We get a nice conclusion
Don't
slash
know.
setup.
Still don't know why Ahsoka and Rex split up.
I don't know either.
That is weird.
Thank you. Ryan was trying to make excuses, and it doesn't make sense.
He gets old.
She gets old too. Wow, that's
Yeah.
how aging works.
Well,
But she has the Force, so she can like.
Okay, they were friends.
I mean, it seems to me like in Rebels, when they find Rex and the other two clones, they were pretty happy just lunking around in their old...
Okay, what was
AT
Ahsoka
whatever.
doing before she showed up in Rebels?
Wasn't she like a secret... She came across on the HoloNet as like the secret something...
Oh, for the Fulcrum.
No, that was... Yeah, Fulcrum was that other dude. But she was a secret source or something. She was still doing Jedi stuff.
Except she wasn't a Jedi.
Right.
Sort of Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Ahsoka isn't even a real Jedi anymore.
That was a good line. I actually thought that they were going to use that to get her off the ship to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It tickled my heart that I was both right and wrong because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing that a lot of people had kind of wondered about was, do the clones like completely forget everything and they just kind of become just programmed soldiers, or can they still be somewhat reasoned with? Because he was almost
Jesse
reasoned
thought
with.
about it.
He really considered it, but then Order 66 kicked back in and was like, no, she must die.
Well, I think Order 66, it's like changing a logic circuit. The way he's thinking about that situation is changed rather than what he's thinking about.
Okay. Yeah, because I remembered hearing...
Because Rex right away was struggling with
Yeah.
the thought of it, because his mind still associated Ahsoka with his being his friend. So
Plus, he made that. He just happened to make that report to
what a convenient plot point.
Fives. Yeah. Well, that was a pretty good. I liked that whole arc. I think that was season 6.
I think you're right.
Sounds right.
It
Right
was
before Yoda went off on his mysterious
Yep.
super Jedi journey.
to listen to Qui-Gon.
On Morrowind, not Korriban.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's Korriban.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool arc to talk about. Like, this is how Order 66 is going to work. So it's kind of fun. And not fun for the Jedi. But
Oh, I thought they had loads of fun. They got more target practice than they had had in years. Because suddenly they're fighting both the droids and their own soldiers.
Oh, so sad.
Poor Ayla Secura. She gets shot like 80 times. They just keep shooting her. She's on the ground. Pew, 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 pew.
that was kind of the same as Kiadu Mundi.
No, he goes down, and then they're just pointing their guns at him. They don't keep shooting. You gotta wonder what Ayla Secura did to those clones.
For the Republic.
Hey.
Wasn't it in the original Battlefront 2 when you play as the 501st? Those were the clone troopers that were with Ahsoka at Felucia?
No.
No?
No. Ayla Secura, you mean. But also no. Because that plot line just says, like, they went in and fought for a little while, and then they left and did something
Okay.
else.
Interesting.
Because I think the line goes, like, when her death came, I hope it was quick. She earned that much.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Alrighty. Any closing thoughts on Season 7?
Just, I guess it was a little short, but obviously they couldn't find any content if they had to drag that middle arc out for 4 episodes. So, I don't know.
Or they're saving content for Season 8, which will be like Season 6, more anthology stories.
Maybe.
That's a rumor I've heard. I don't put stock in it.
They can move. There's so many other things they can do.
Yeah, there are.
Like the Kenobi series.
That's not happening.
Hello there.
It's going to happen
Who there?
someday.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGruger.
Such a great Obi-Wan.
Yep. You got to watch Dr. Sleep, his latest movie.
I didn't watch The Shining.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you got to watch The Shining first. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm like Joey, where he puts The Shining in the freezer because it scares him too much.
Oh, Joey from Friends. I thought you were talking about Joey Abreu.
Oh, no.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't know. The Shining isn't that scary. It's just a good older-ish movie.
Yeah.
Like Predator.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. That one's fun.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Shining doesn't have any,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
or any weird, like, heat ray effects that haven't aged that well.
It holds up.
Maybe. If you're watching it on VHS, sure.
That's what he goes with.
But you brought up a good point about how this may not be the end because, like I said, there is some unfinished animation of Boba Fett apparently still having an arc, and there was some unfinished. I remembered seeing some unfinished animation of possibly having Revan show up, the spirit
That
of
was
Revan, but that
was
might have
for
been from
a different arc. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was
A different-
cut from the Force Planet
but
story.
But what
whatever.
I'm thinking now is, as much as you don't like Episode 9, they have established in that movie that Revan did exist. So they could potentially maybe use that somewhere.
Revan. Yeah.
I'm afraid they're just gonna throw Revan into the High Republic, which will be their Old Republic ripoff, and do his character very poorly because he was cool and interesting, and they're gonna ruin him. Rip.
Not sure. But who knows? They might not even do any
Right.
more Clone Wars after this. They might just
Might
say,
be done.
The Boba Fett series.
That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
You either get Tamara Morrison, Tamora, whatever, the guy who played Django back, or
You mean Aquaman's dad?
sure,
Oh, is that the
That's
same
where
guy?
he-
Yeah, it's the same
it's
dude.
the same
Oh, wow.
actor. Yeah.
Huh.
wasn't prepared for Ryan to go to Aquaman with that, but he did. Or you get the kid who played Boba Fett in episode 2. He's grown up, and he dresses up as Boba Fett like all the time, and he'd fit the role. He's about the right age too.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Have him meet up with the Mandalorian.
Oh, that could happen.
But would
It'd be
Boba
cool.
Fett be a Mandalorian?
Depends on how you look at it,
Yeah.
and it depends on how they make things canon or not.
Yeah.
Maybe Boba Fett will ride the mythosaur.
The Mythosaur were wiped out.
But what about the special, the holiday special where Boba Fett rode one?
The holiday special isn't canon, Curtis.
They can make it canon. No, I've never watched it.
Also,
Thankfully.
I think that was just a weird purple dinosaur or something.
I thought it was the mythosaur.
I don't remember.
I had a thought, and now I've lost it.
He lost his thought.
Yeah.
Ryan's been doing a lot of thinking today.
Too much thinking.
The self bird. I wasn't even going to go there.
Too much fun.
Hey. We should talk about that.
We could. I don't even remember what is the quote from?
Trials and tribulations.
Oh, right. Yes, Cisco.
The Cisco?
Who am I sitting next to?
I can remember quotes, but where they came from.
Most distressing.
Maybe they'll make a Star Wars 1313 game finally.
It won't happen. Just
A
accept it,
man can
Ryan.
dream, though. A man can dream.
Thing longer.
That would be the world.
That's what the world would be like if I had invented the thing longer. But then the thing longer shows up in a different episode.
So I'm wondering if everything that has happened past that episode has all been on the
Thing longer timeline?
yeah
Oh my gosh.
in the whatever his
The what if machine.
the what if machine.
We're talking about Futurama now.
Yeah. Good episode.
It's a good episode. Tales of Interest? Is that the name of it? Or Anthology of Interest?
I think it's anthology of something.
It's been a while. Need to rewatch Futurama.
Since I last saw you.
I know it's Parks and Rec, but I have no context for it.
It's okay. Alrighty.
The pit. I fell in the pit. You fell in the pit. I fell in the pit.
Well, we've still got like 20 minutes.
You
We could
gotta
just
watch.
keep talking about stuff.
You gotta watch Parks and Rec, Noah.
I've got other stuff to watch.
You
Like
gotta
Community again.
Oh boy.
No, you gotta watch Lost and Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Maybe.
Parks and Rec at least. Lost.
Parks and Rec is good.
We'll see.
The Lost season premiere or whatever show premiere is like the most expensive television premiere ever for a long time. They spent
Probably until Game of Thrones.
probably they spent an obscene amount of money on the.
And look at that payoff.
It's a good first episode.
Oh, I meant for the series in general.
Oh,
You get to the end, and then you have a bunch of raving fans about one thing or another.
Are we talking about
The Lost.
Lost or Game of Thrones?
Lost. Well, it's applicable in both situations, let me tell you, Ryan.
Yikes!
Got him.
Yeah. Still haven't watched Game of Thrones.
We could start reviewing Game of Thrones episodes. We
And
could
then
just
I'd be
throw you in.
required to watch them.
Yes.
Oh boy. So
Actually,
much,
we should talk about Battlestar Galactica. That way, you have an incentive to watch that.
so much commitment involved with all these shows.
Yeah,
So many
But
hours.
now I can't watch it.
Well,
Oh yeah.
whose fault is it that neither of you have watched Battlestar Galactica before?
Just
The universes.
yeah. I had
Universes.
no need to watch it
It's
before.
really good.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Ronald D. Moore worked on it.
Great.
He worked on DS9.
I know.
was telling Noah about this earlier. I saw the trailer for the Space Force on Netflix.
Space Force, yeah.
It's like The Office, but in space.
Yeah. It's going to be funny.
I don't know. I didn't like The Office.
I enjoy some of The Office. There are a lot of funny moments.
There are particular episodes that were all right, but for the most part, meh.
The one when Jim thinks that he convinces Dwight that he's a vampire.
Right. Jim is the best part of The Office. Jim and Dwight.
I feel so strangely powerful.
Dwight pulls out the steak at the end. Hey,
We have a
Dwight.
visitor.
He's right behind him with this.
Oh.
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 Hello there.
Hello, visitor. What's up? No, we're pretty much
we're
done.
wrapping
Yeah,
up.
we're
Yeah.
just talking.
We have time to fill, so.
Allie,
Yep, that's because it's
what
recorded.
do you have to say?
Yeah, Allie.
Nothing.
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 What don't you want to talk about, Allie?
Yeah, Allie.
Everything. Anything.
What?
Everything and anything are
It's a lot.
not mutually exclusive.
Have you guys ever watched Good Mythical Morning?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking we should have a fourth microphone back there so she could talk like the assistant on Good Mythical Morning does. Yeah,
This
she.
wasn't visible.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I forgot.
Tragic.
Maybe I can Photoshop it in for the whole episode. I'll just copy and paste this end clip like 32 times.
Like Blade's eyes in the third Blade movie.
I didn't watch the third Blade movie.
So I haven't either, but from what I have, this one weird fact came out that
Wesley
Blade was
Snipes was like so uninvested in the project that he was basically sleeping on set. So they had to Photoshop eyes onto
Yeah.
him because he just
wouldn't open his eyes.
just-
he refused.
yes.
So
Wow.
if we want,
Yeah.
put it in.
Probably get it.
But yeah, Allie, do you want to be our like moderator, sort of?
Well, we should set up for a fourth mic anyways. At some point,
Yes.
we're gonna
Right.
have a fourth person. This might show up.
This
you
might
never know.
definitely show up. It's content. It
is
gets
content.
us closer to our
Quality content.
gets us to our hour
That should blow out
long
someone's
episode
ears.
time, and then we can start making money if we get a couple more subscribers, like 1,000 more. Yes. Yes.
How does it look, Allie?
Yeah, how does it look?
Fine. The fourth Harry Potter movie was fine.
Yeah.
A
Fighting
woman after my own heart.
No. They could have
We
split.
agree on a lot of things, Allie. We just disagree on Endgame.
They could have split Harry Potter 4, 5, 6, and 7 all into 2-part movies, and then it would have been fine. Or just made them 4-hour-long movies, each and every one of them.
I'm okay with that,
But they didn't.
but they didn't because they're not Lord of the Rings. Cowards.
Yeah. It's too bad. Oh well.
We could talk about Lord of the Rings. The extended editions, of course.
Doo-doo-doo.
That's a lot to talk about.
It is a lot to talk about, and it's worth it.
Bless you.
Bless you. Oh, I think this
Thank you.
ended.
I muted myself.
Loading. Oh. Oops. It was buffering. What is that? We're still on topic.
Yeah, technically.
Technically.
Nope.
Back to
Buffering again.
buffering.
All
Says
right.
I need to download Real Player 7. You know what? I'll just deliver it to him myself.
Real Player 7.
Back whenever that episode came out, that was probably whatever Real Player they were on.
Maybe.
09? Maybe 2010.
It was before the Disney takeover
Yeah.
because
It was,
that was a
it
Fox property.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
Are
times.
they going to put Family Guy on Disney Plus?
They've got The Simpsons.
Yeah, they've got The Simpsons.
I'm waiting for Futurama, though that's probably held up with rights issues with Comedy Central. Sort of a Comedy Central Network.
Ah.
I get it.
Get it.
And we're on it now.
What about all of our...
What about us and our many fans?
Oh.
I received a... What was it? Minimum brain damplage.
I survived with only trivial brain dabblage. Thanks to his trusty safety sphere. Plus mine has air conditioning. It's got the only big safety sphere. Good
Yep.
times. Good times were had by all.
All right. So...
Allie, we could go on ad nauseum. Me and my big fancy Latin words. Allie, when can Teddy come over?
Yes, when can Ted come over? Oh. So, never.
So never. Yikes.
Why don't you do a virtual thing and like virtually have it here?
'Cause
Then-
it's
then
not
you
the
gotta
same as
Get his
Teddy.
audio and it's not the same.
It's not the
Having
same
Ted
as-
here would add, I think, quite a lot.
You could come in if none of you go in the house at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that, yeah.
I don't know
I
how
mean, that's
I would...
pretty much what we're doing right now.
I just don't even know how I would fit him in here. I guess...
We'd push Ryan over and put him here.
Show's over. If I knows.
I mean, we're close. Yeah, I guess subscribe, like...
What? Oh, right.
Like, subscribe. If you have something else that you want us to review, viewers, let us know.
We've been getting lots of suggestions. No, we haven't.
No.
Not yet. One day.
One day.
Yes. And subscribe.
Bye.
Next week on NRC.
Have you seen George Lucas's dialogue?
Maybe not J.J. Abrams' level of, mystery and whatever
Let's ask
setups,
a question
but
and never answer it.
There are like 50 other songs that use
Use
a
same
use
progression,
a similar progression or something.